Hello everyone and welcome to today's highlights. It is TM02 versus CK66 in this Roots of War, so stay tuned for a jam-packed episode. Hello, and yes, we've got Roots of War. Like I said, CK66 are our enemies today in TM02's Roots of War. Don't worry, I am recording as of today's editing, as you can imagine, the TM versus DS highlights too. So don't worry, we're gonna have a massive game on our hands for you guys to look over. But this is obviously the opening and commencing. We're gonna skip forward because we don't want to be watching this boring stuff, right? But if you are new to the channel, you can smash a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more daily Call of Dragons videos. But this wasn't a smooth sailing. I'm just gonna say we're gonna open up the next 30 seconds because I did not have, I'm not gonna lie, a pleasant experience in the start of this Roots of War, and you're gonna see why. I was pumped, I was ready to go, and you can rewatch this on the live stream if you want to go for it. And that'll be the full video, obviously, of the Roots of War. The thing is, when you watch this now, when I go to join the Alliance Rally, anytime I press the letter O, you know, the hotkey to go there, my game just crashed. And this happens to me 2 more times. That anytime I press the hotkey to go to the Alliance menu, for some reason, the game crashes. So it makes me actually miss out on a couple of the earlier rallies, which I was kind of, you know, disappointed on. And you're going to see, you know, I just basically go into open field. I'm like, what am I going to bring? I can see what's coming out. And you know what? I already pre-selected, and this is a really good tip for you guys. Before you go into Roots of War, make your 5 marches. Just make 5 marches you're going to bring, and you're good to go, right? And this is my first one. So this was what I actually brought out in the early game. It was actually all my strongest units. It's basically like a really nice spread where I've got double archers, double mages, with like Valen, Waldir, with Lilia and Alwyn, with the Syndron Kanara combo, and I've got a Nico Freyga. That's what I'm running at the moment. I would have preferred Kanara in the front, just to give you guys a little heads up, but I was testing to see how effective the precision tree was with Syndron. I'm not gonna lie, he did do some good damage, but you will see when he does get eventually targeted, he does melt really quickly, right? Especially when he gets focused on. So that's one thing, you guys, if you're a T4 player, you definitely need to pay attention to. So this is the opening fight, and CK66 definitely showing up in their numbers. Love to see it. All the T5 and T4 players here, which we do get to go over, and I'm going to obviously showcase some reports so we can showcase some of the guys that we're going against, and hopefully, if those CK66 members are watching this video, a little shout out to you all, because honestly, you guys made this an absolute close game. It was so close, honestly, until right near the end, and it just came out of the point revenue. But it was such a good game, though, and it was a really, I think, clever understanding of strategy too. I think it showed 2 different strategies in the scoreboard, which we'll go over at the end, about, you know, what team had different priorities, right? So here we go. My main units are in. I was already frontlining with the Madeline in that front line because Yeson was basically taking all the damage and he died. But I can see here on the top side, these 2 guys, these flying marchers are basically causing problems, right? So I'm actually using my Madeline here to draw the aggro still, but more importantly to actually punish these guys. So you can see here we absolutely punish this Satanist coming, and the other 60 the CM60 guy who's using the Atheist still just right above us right here. He's going to be able to come back in, but we are paying attention to him, so we are watching him. So we now, obviously feeling like we've covered that area, we move around and we reposition it. And this is a really good showcase here of just PvP fundamental basics in this game, right? You can see my marches all in the green. Obviously, all of my murder balls yellow. The enemy are in the blue. And what I am trying to do is make sure my marches are mainly in the murder ball. But if I do move forward, it needs to be in a very, you know, reasonable push wide, right? You know, so what we do is push forward, get a quick kill, and we zoom out. And we'll target Demon, which we need to just remember that name later in this video. but Demon obviously punished us when we targeted him. That's a little hint and indicator to that march. But then we came off and we repositioned Lurk, and we go back into the murder ball. We make sure we're all in the swarm, and then we start retargeting marchers we assume that are not T5, right? So that's what we are doing right here. And with this push, our murder ball continues to sustain, as you can see, and it is a really nice push here where we now control the center of this map. And now we are trying, as you can see, to push them into their zone and potentially get towards their Hall of Power. So it's a nice little opening skirmish there. That is in the first 10 minutes of the fight. But we can scoot forward, right? Because we're going to go and see this craziness. And this is what I wanted to showcase mainly. And here we've got, and I'll pause the video just for you guys there, we've got 4 cavalry marchers rocking here. It's a very experimental march setup, but it has a lot of utility and actual use in it, right? So the way I've got this set up is I have my Forendil with Fear as a flying cavalry march, and I have my Freygar with the Craig. At the moment, I would have actually swapped them around and made Craig the primary, just because of the mobility tree to make him a lot more faster, and all of those talents I know guarantee go to the flying cavalry units, right? But then my Emrys is a Emrys Alistair March, which is what you can imagine, and one which might raise a few eyebrows, but honestly, it paid off so well, was the Bahkshi and Indis combo. Yes, that is right. Bahkshi Indis. I have got a 5-1, 5-4 Indis, and she honestly is a monster right now. And what I actually use these marches to do, which you're going to see in this clip now as we play it in, I actually use it to do a lot of plays on the flanks. I try to punish people that are out of position, and I try to control the zone, right? And the cool thing with the Bahkshi Indis is the Bahkshi does an amazing amount of damage, but my frontline units, they get the heal off the Indis, and the enemy's frontline units now take 20% damage from all sources. So all of my allies now can nuke through the enemy's frontline, and you can see here the way I'm absolutely bullying this guy off. I'm like, you cannot be here. You know, this is not your territory, and this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to control these zones, right? You can see me already moving around, flanking down at the bottom, seeing these archer guys looking for one, and there's one straight away. So I go instantly onto a Lilia that's out of position, too up and too close. And the way I use my flying cav marches sounds a bit crazy, but I actually use them to kamikaze. It is mental, but I do try to let them kamikaze in, deal as much damage as possible, try and get 1 or 2 skill cycles off, and then if possible, I then get out. And then if I can, I just repeat it, right? When I get that unyielding rush trigger, it means I can get that skill damage off, and honestly, it's a very effective way to actually bully your opponent. And a really little cool thing there, I don't know if you saw, we will rewind it just a little bit. You can see right there, I do have a time bomb on, right? So we get time bombed here, and instead of just walking into my team, I realize it, and look, I'm instantly pull away to make sure only my units get time bombed, which is fine, right? Because my other guys are really healthy still, or my ranged cavalry are doing their actual job, which is really, honestly, bullying the opponents. All the ranged cavalry units want to do, as you can see here now, when I use just the Bahkshi and Emrys, is you actually just want to use their range to their advantage at poking enemies, getting out if they get targeted, and then what you do is you can, like, pull them out of position and then re-go back in. And if you've got something like a Bahkshi Indis, honestly, this type of play style benefits your team so much, because you're actually creating these AoE pocket zones for your enemies to actually take 20% more damage in, and they don't want that. And you can see here right now, I am melting through this 30M60 guy who's on the bottom trying to push in. Didn't realize my ranged cavalry units were absolutely blitzing through. And then we got Pink, and Pink's doing the same thing. And I'm like, bro, Pink's doing this. You can't be doing this right now. And instantly we go in. We've got all of our artifacts up, and I aim it for the bridge. That's the main thing, because if there's anyone on that bridge, which there was plenty of, as you could see, loads of artifact damage is going to get pumped out, and that is what we care about. So really good little bit of cavalry gameplay here, guys. And this is if you're looking for ranged cavalry units, this is how you want to play with them. You don't want to be, you know, trying to do some crazy flanks. You actually want to play more with the ball than you think. And you actually want to play, like, on the outskirts of the ball. And when you see people out of positions and create an opportunity to where you can actually get in without being seen, hit a bit of damage, and then put that utility on top, guess what? Your murder ball is honestly rocking on another level. And if there's a few more players doing stuff like this, you would be surprised how much sooner you would go through the enemy's front line. So I really do like this playstyle. It's one that I'm actually going to start adopting a lot more of. And I'm going to try and experiment better and maybe try and doing some other marches. Maybe if I could do something like an Emrys and Craig as well. Because Craig's a physical ranged like march. And we know it works with the melee flying CAVs. So if it works with them, and it could work with the ranged, it could be the same thing where I have these two ranged marches that are basically putting a 20% debuff on you, and then are doing AoE damage on top. So it's something in the future that I am actually going to be looking forward to doing. So right here, we get them right locked into the Hall of Power, and we take it after a nice amount of time, another 10 minutes almost on the clock, and you can see we've now got a 3,000 lead. So what we're going to do is fast forward it into the time, and then you can see we're at the 30-minute zone, and here is where it's very close. And this is the next fight I really want to talk about, because here we have the potential to get our lifestone here, and I bring out my third march setup, which as you can see is only 2 mages. And this is the cool thing, when you preset marchers, you don't have to have a full 5. I've just picked 2 of my best mage marchers that I wanted to rock out. And here is where I try and do a lot of damage. Honestly, I try and punish a lot of people with the range of these marchers. But our sole purpose right now is to control this bridge. We cannot allow anyone across this bridge, because if we do, they have the potential to get this lifestone that could spawn in the middle, or it could spawn on one of the other sides, right? So this is a very powerhouse zone. And the cool thing is as well, if it spawns on the bottom of the map, right? So if it did spawn on the bottom side of the map, and we win this fight right here, right now, what could happen is if we wrap around, the bridge will be unlocked, allowing us to actually go and cut behind them where their tree of healing is, where, you know, they would probably need to run that lifestone back to. So it's a really cool little wraparound mechanic too. So the CK66 just say have understood this, and they brought full force here, and I love this fight. This fight was an amazing bit of fighting here, and I'm playing, as you can see, the almost like a peeling style of mage, where you could be fighting the main murder ball, which is a really good strat, but I'm actually trying to control the outskirts. I'm actually trying to kill these guys like my other teammates here, and actually just punish these players. And you can see that the 30 CM60 guy there, again, is getting absolutely punished by my range and slow, and then the archer player just in front of me was being able to do more damage because of the slow. So really good little bit of, you know, PvP awareness there. We can see another guy, Metrox, coming in. We already instantly start focusing him here, and we notice, look, wait, I'm losing too many troops here. I think this is T5. So then I retarget, and this is a little tip and trick that I said in the live stream but I haven't mentioned yet in this Roots of War highlights video, and it's to know when you're fighting T5. And obviously you can always try and look at the reports and try and see who in those reports are obviously T5 players. But a really good indicator is when you're fighting and you actually look at your troop count. When you look at your troop count, if it's only being reduced by 200 units, you know it's going to be a T4 player. But right now, as you can see, look, I'm losing nearly 2,000 units per auto attack or counter attack on this guy. So that was T5. I know I was hitting T5, and I'm trying to showcase, look how much damage you will take if you target a T5 player. But As soon as I target a T4 guy, guess what? It's a different story. I lose way less of that health, which we're going to showcase in a moment in a future highlight when we get to zoom in. So that is just a big showcase there, guys. Look, don't hit T5. The way you want to deal with T5 is hitting the T4 and letting your Mage AoE hit that T5 mark. Just let the AoE deal a little bit of shrapnel damage over time, because that AoE adds up, and that is troop count lost by the T5 player, and it doesn't cost you anything apart from being a little bit smarter on the PvP field. So let's come back, let's move forward, because here is when we got the archers out, and we're going to look at some of the reports here, because this is when we were bringing out the archers to see, okay, let's see how good, you know, these guys are, but they instantly 15x'd my march, which was kind of crazy. But we go to the reports, and this is where we get to see some of the players, right? So we get to look at the Legion buffs, and we can see, look, Mr. Ibeko, T5, so that's one person I shouldn't be hitting, right? So instantly come off. We've got a T4 player, so that is someone you want to remember. If you see like Deathmoth on the battlefield, that's someone I want to be targeting right now. And the one, he's got Shaker, T4 we can target, and then Demon, remember who we said about earlier, Demon? We were targeting Demon a lot and trying to help our team, but he is a T5 boy. And then we've got Railgun there. So this is just a little bit of like in between when you're healing and you're getting your marches back into the gameplay. What you want to be doing is actually looking at these reports, quickly have a quick analysis, see, you know, okay, we have these guys out, you know, these are the targets I know I can hit in the center, let's target them, right? So let's go into the gameplay. We've got it on 20 minutes now, and now I bring, and this is one of my favorite times, honestly, of the area where I was going to try and join some of these different types of, you know, rallies and stuff. I put my infantry in here, and I do bring them out a little bit later on. But this is where I go on kind of like a crazy T4 rampage, where I'm rocking my basically best of the best marches. I'm doing Syndron Kanara with the Lilia Valen. I've got Bahkshi and Emrys, I believe, together, or I might have Bahkshi and Freygar for super DPS. So I really want to kill people from range with these marches. Or actually, I'm lying. I'm actually lying. We're running Bahkshi and Forandel. We can definitely tell it's Forandel now from the big green bird. Everyone should know this green big bird now in the battlefield. So what I'm doing here, and a lot of people are probably wondering, what are you doing, right? Because we're kind of just like, looks like we're standing around, but we're not. What we're doing is actually getting all of our marches together, and this is what a lot of players do not do in Roots of War or in PvP. They kind of let all their marches go forward like this, and then just stop and let them like go, right? They don't let them like actually group up together, because if you actually group your marches together like they are now, these guys will actually deal the same amount of damage and work on the same amount of units, right? So now you can see my cavalry and my mages are already hitting down this player, and my archers are a little bit slower, but now they're in the same party. So now I know all of my marchers are basically within attack range of whoever I'm targeting, so they're at the correct distance. And here is where I start playing a little bit more out compared to, you know, my teammates, where I actually start to punch out. And I love this, playing this ranged cavalry and actually forcing people to get away, otherwise they're gonna take massive amount of damage, especially when you get cowardice put on them with that Forandel. And you can see, look, my teammates love it, and they push straight in with the infantry and cavalry to support that range push there by my calves, and it allows now my team to go forward, which I love. And now Yessen's main rally, and this is one thing which is a really good little tip, which you can do, and I did do it in the live stream, which you can check out. But during the rally, what you know is the rally is going to take obviously damage from players, right? Because now the new rally mechanic is in the game. So if you block the rally is going to attack you back. It's going to hit you, and it will hit you hard, so don't be blocking that thing. So what you can do is, though, if they are blocking it and trying to kill it with their own rally, for example, and you can see here that Uchiha Itachi guy just getting absolutely melted by the rally right there. But what you're going to notice is you can actually put in your units, right? So my Syndrome right now is in the battlefield. We're getting targeted by Mr. Deathmorph, and we remember Deathmorph's T4. We can actually fight this guy, even though my cavalry are the weakest out of all of my unit, and this is a unit advantage, you know, infantry versus CAVs. I know in the long run I'm going to win because my teammates eventually will target this guy out of position, which they're starting to do. And as you can see, all of my guys are getting out. And soon as we've, you know, killed this guy, we're not stopping, guys. We're pushing forward. But with the point is, what we were talking about with the rally, I can join the rally. You know, our rally is going to lose troops all the time, and it means my Syndrome, if I really wanted to make it super safe, I can throw him in the rally, and that rally is even stronger, and I'm getting even more merits for free, which I do during this fight. You know, I do in the early game more when I had double archers out because it was a lot more freer to do it. But it's a nice little tip there for you guys that are T4 players, trying to figure out how you can maximize your marches. That's a really good tip there. So right here, a nice little showmanship there for PvP. If you noticed, Crow was trying to target my guys, so all I did, simply repositioned. I pulled back and pulled his infantry into someone else's troops that are stronger, and it caused him, as you can see, to die, right? So a nice little bit of repositioning there for my troops, and now I can reposition forward a bit more aggressively and try and target some of these guys. And this is what I try and do with my marches. I don't care that I'm T4 here. I'm happily trying to, you know, have fun and maybe stand out from the crowd, because if someone does target me, guess what? My T5 gets a little bit free reigns on the hits, right? So now we're trying to figure out, ooh, who do we hit? Who do we hit? Because we're on this next area and we see Demon, and guess what? We know Demon is T5. We're not going for Demon right now. So we're always wary of who is in our vicinity, and this is a really good awareness of our routes of war. And just there, if we just go back and just to give you a little highlight there before we hit the pause on it and move forward, you can see we've got 16 minutes to go and how many points I'm actually on at the moment, which is going to be one where a lot of people are probably wondering, well, how many points are you on, Sneaky, right? Because this one, I'm not going to lie, is probably, even though I think it was my most fun adventure, as you can see, I'm on 8k points. And I could be on way more points if I just joined Yeson's rallies. Because you can see Yeson's on over 68.5k points. So that is just a showcase there. Really, if you really want points, please guys, join rallies and you will get points. But I am honestly comfortable and confident in my PvP skills. So I know within the next 15 minutes, I'm definitely going to hit the big 10k mark, right? So what we do is we're going to fast forward it into when we do change our marches up, because we do get killed there, as you can see, and our infantry march is still inside our, you know, garrison, which it was defending really well until we was getting those merits. And now these guys are pushing forward, and you know what? I was like, we want to showcase how strong T4 can be. I will bring out the big guns, because we've got, again, all the big marches, and here I do an amazing flank, and this is honestly such a great little flank on my Forendale here, and I just basically catch these guys off guard. For some reason my Unyielding Rush doesn't trigger, which is weird, but it's cool because we just kind of like push in, do insane AoE damage there, and just let him do his thing. We've got a fear behind him just to shield it. Let these guys focus down my march, which is great because now my front line, guess what? We're here. And this is where I take over. So now my infantry is going to be part of the main front line of our push here. And you can see me leading the charge straight in, and we are targeting everyone here. I'm running my, again, Syndrome Canara, Lilia Valen march here. We've got a Madeline Nika as my infantry. And my Madeline's only 5221, but my Nika is 5345. So she does punch a big, you know, big punch for a little girl, right? So we're leading this front charge, and now, as you can see already, I'm nearly hitting 10k now because I'm running infantry, I'm running the front line, I'm getting targeted when I need to, and here I'm doing all of my AoE and nice, some insane burst when we hit the Viola's bow into the Phoenix Eye combo there. It means all of those targets honestly just took roughly about 20k to 30k damage there, and on top of it, the 10-second delay on their artifacts is crucial, and you can see them not liking that. And Demon, massive D5 player now, is getting absolutely punished by our murder ball, but me, I'm focusing on these guys on the outskirts again. Look, I'm trying to kill this CM60 guy and get him away from doing what he's been doing all game, and here we finally do punish him, and we now move back into the center. So we've got Syndron and our Lilia now, and we're going to focus now. We're going to focus down and kill anyone that we believe we should on the site, and we're wondering, should we keep going on Per? And honestly, Per isn't that scary, and we're just watching our numbers, and our numbers isn't dropping. If you look on the screen right now, I'm only losing, and I put my mouse on it, look, only 200 troops. So I know that's a T4 player, so I'm not going to stop fighting. If it was 2k, like before when we were fighting Demon earlier in the video, you would pull off your troops. And that's why I keep my troops ready, just in case I kill this guy and I start fighting another T5 player automatically. I can pull off instantly, and I only lose 2k troops instead of losing 10,000 troops, right? So, really good little tip there. And this, honestly, I love this bit of gameplay. This is the last 10 minutes of the fight, and you can see we've got a 8,000 lead here, and it is going to be close. 4 minutes of it left on the LIFESTONE, and as you can see on the bottom of the screen, the LIFESTONE is being fought for in the bottom of the map, and we are trying to push through. And this is what we were talking about earlier as a little hint, if you've watched it all the way through the video, and if you have, smash a like, comment and subscribe. But we are pushing through this center to try and eventually get across that bridge and stop this LIFESTONE capture. And it is such a great push here, and we have such a great attempt here. Yes, on with another rally, trying to push through. I've got my mages out, and we are just pumping through anyone who we see out of position. Per out of position, we kill. Pink out of position now. We know Pink is actually T4. So guess what? I already start nuking this guy down. Already melted. Royal Punishment comes out by him. We're already over 10k points, just to confirm. So just a, you know, little spoiler there. We get all of our heads, win or lose. But we are now taking control of the hall. Our rally is going down. We can see here this big fight for the LIFESTONE. The Flame Dragon is both fighting to stop this LIFESTONE from happening. And you can see Yesun instantly trying to go there. I'm just trying to finish off these guys. And then we are going to move our troops over, because obviously you can see this LIFESTONE is just being dropped there, and we notice, okay, we can actually come and help this. This is what we can do. We're watching it, and I'm like, wait, what we're doing, we can come too. So we start, and this is when the chat even comes up. I tell everyone we need to get here, because right now everyone is getting kind of, you know, sidetracked by the ramp. The ramp is getting more troops in, and people want to kill the ramp for merits, but you need to get here. We need to stop this LIFESTONE from coming in. You can see it, it's on Mr. Nukrat there, the wild deer of all people. The mages walking it step by step to there. We put it in the chat, everyone should know it's there. We're moving across, and now I am just going, guys. I don't care. These guys know they need to protect it, and I am just moving forward. You know, I'm just going to frontline everything so these guys can try and punch through as quick as they can to hopefully get Nukrat before they get this. But guess what? You already can see, I'm like, it's not enough. They've done it. They've finally done it. And honestly, CK66 played this so well. And congratulations to him for securing that LIFESTONE there. And you can see, look, it brought the score up now within 6,000 points. It is so close this now. We have to maintain this. We have to maintain all of the buildings. Otherwise, we're going to lose this. And this fight, just as you can see, we start to log out, and we're just going to skip forward because we do a little bit of a lag out there, but it's the last 5 minutes. We have to keep going, and we can notice there all of the buildings at the top is still under TM02's control, and because of that, we've been able to, as you can see, hopefully secure this win. We've got now 34,000 points to CK66's 26,000, which was a really mammoth of a task. This is one of the funniest ones I've played in myself, honestly, and I think a lot of people enjoyed it as well on the live stream, watching all the cavalry plays as well that we did throughout the video. And if you guys want to watch it, guess what? Check the channel out, hit the live tab, and you will be able to watch the full live stream of this event there. We're going to stop doing the full highlight actual uploads because I just feel like it's a double upload since we've already done it on the live stream, so what's the point? So if you guys like the highlights only, that's what we're going to do, only the highlights. But yeah, we've got an amazing full live stream for you guys to check out. So we're going to just commentate the last little bit here. We've got 3 minutes to go, as you can see. I want to keep fighting. I've still got troops to go. So we send out the strongest 3 marchers of what I've got left, which is my infantry, mages, and my archers. The exact same setup as before. And guess what? We're going to just go. We're just going to go in. We're going to have fun. We're not going to really try and pay too much attention, but we are going to try and focus down on some good targets though, right? If there's something a bit crazy going on, guess what? We might join that craziness. Let's just say that, right? But here we go. We're running straight in. MrSneaky's infantry going in, and we're just going to punch straight through. That's my task. And I've got already my entangling flames up. I don't need it right yet because you can see I'm not getting targeted. And if I'm not getting targeted, I don't need it. So now I am moving forward, and you can see I'm actually wrapping around and going straight into these guys. I don't care about it. And I'm going straight in, targeting, figuring out who to go for, and I see finally a march that I want. We hit the entangling flames. All our marchers start absolutely blazing it down. Obviously, we've got 4 marchers on me, which is good, because it means 4 marchers are not targeting the DPS behind me. So I'm doing my job as a tank. Now I lose it to 1, then it goes to 5, and now we're down to 4. So people are keep flicking off and on. I don't know why. I don't know if they don't like me or not. But we are doing a great job here, being a front line for our alliance, and instantly a Phoenix Eye trigger there by our Lilia, and we're just double checking around the area just to make sure nothing else is going on. There's nothing else, so we keep maintaining this area, and we're getting our Syndron in a rally. Oh, it's on its way. We got it fighting now. The Viola boat about to come up. It just needs to generate the rage. That's the only problem with my Syndron right now. It needs to generate the rage. We've got the rage. We're gonna hit the Viola's boat straight into that massive ball, as you can imagine, to do maximum damage to those guys at low HP and stop them from potentially casting any of their artifacts again for 10 seconds. Now everyone doesn't like me. I've got 11 members all targeting my marchers. They absolutely want me dead, and that's the Syndron, guys. That is the Syndron getting targeted. Look, 15x at almost at one point on that Syndron, 12x on the layer. Do you know what? I just stand there and go, do you know what? You can have me. You can have me for once. And that was it. That's basically the last major fight for myself. But we're going to keep watching on what occurs towards the end, because it is just a really fun fight to watch here for CK66. So I want to thank you guys and congratulate you guys for obviously participating in this week's Roots of War and giving us a really good match. Honestly, it was a really fun match, and the reason it was a fun match was because of the score. Even though we've won on the score by just about 9,000 points, when you look at the scoreboard, you're going to see a different story. You can actually see the priorities of kind of the different areas and where each alliance were technically winning in their own right, which is kind of crazy to say, right? But this is where we're going to see it. We've got Yeson at the top. We're going to hit 5, 3, 2, 1 for the final bit. And victory for TM02. We win yet again for our alliance. Yeson with 85.348k on that amazing score. And here we go. And this is what I want to look about and talk about before we end today's video. And if you if you enjoyed it, smash a like, comment, and subscribe for watching it all the way to the end. But this bit, is a bit more of a, really cool story, because you can see we, TM02, only caught 1 lifestone. Compared to, if you look at the alliance of Lucia caught 2. So you could see CK66 had higher priority on the livestones. But when you look at the occupational points, that's where you see we had more. As well as you can see their gathering points were 700 more, right? So you can see here where TM02's actual tactic for this game, instead of actually focusing on the livestones, and if we obviously could win one, we would happily win it, we were focusing more on the structures compared to the other alliance that was actually focusing more on the livestones. And the cool thing is we did obtain one of those livestones because we controlled the center. So it's a really cool telltale little story there. Take from it whatever you want. But I hope you've enjoyed today's video. We're going to go into the mail. We're going to claim our rewards before, obviously, we forget. For it, here we go, the 10 legendary sculptures for completing it and winning and getting 10,000 points. And then the extra rewards you just see there for coming, for basically participating in your alliance winning. So, if you enjoyed this Roots of War highlights video, smash a like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky, and peace out, guys.